So,
because ethics are important.
ethics are important, but more to the point was the fact that we want to do this January art challenge, and the fact that we're coordinating this and my mom is in on it. It's just going to be a lot of fun.
Actually, is
And
mid-sentence.
yes,
Hi.
Welcome to the Pre Moms. This is how this works. We just occasionally
just
stop
have,
and hit
like,
play.
It's
we
like we just push the
occasionally
button
just
and
record what we're doing here and
go. Are we
talking.
doing something?
So,
It's like,
So, yeah.
it's just like,
Because the Ninktober's, which Nink is no Inktober,
Right.
because you're doing everything digitally.
yes.
Yes.
And that has been going really well. It has been a blast doing this. Knowing that Sam Robb is going to take my work and turn it into a story has challenged me to just really stretch my skills. And there's just something about being collaborative with other artists
yes.
and authors that inspires things.
I would just like to point out that Michael Burke is being premature because he thinks Pinup Noir is coming out Friday. No.
Premature announcements.
Next Friday.
Next Friday.
It's soon.
This time is
You're
Maggie's.
close.
We're doing Maggie's this Friday.
This
So.
is a premature exclamation.
Wow, we're just going all kinds of wrong today. No, it's like Maggie's in Space comes out Friday.
Yes.
Pinup Noir is the next weekend. So next week. Oh, you need to pull forward.
I am. I heard that sound.
That was not a good sound.
That was not a good sound, and made me very
Or next
unhappy.
Friday, what abs? I mean, I can even see you saying that in your cute little dress with your cigar.
Oh,
Yeah. Sparkle 2 contracts are this weekend.
yes.
Is it this weekend? Yes,
Yes.
those are the next ones.
Mhm.
And then the weekend after that is, I've got so much to do.
I have the cover all ready for Sprinkle too. So.
I know. Oh my
Yeah.
God, the cover for
And then
Sparkle 2 is
the next
hilarious.
weekend is going to be.
Oh, this would be too simple. I could look at
We
the
do have
schedule.
right.
We have a calendar.
It's
I mean,
Space
that's the
Cowboys
point.
4 because I'm working on those this week
Yeah, she's doing Space Cowboys for
because
it,
we
so.
need to make sure that we're that we've got those ready to go before we hit the road for
Las
20
Vegas.
bucks. Yeah, we're gonna be on the road. We're gonna be on the road to Las Vegas the day that the contracts are gonna
Yeah,
get
so
sent
they're
out.
probably
So
going to
they're
go out
gonna
on Friday.
Yeah,
So
a day early.
let me look. So I've got so much to do. Why am I not looking at the calendar? That's way much simpler. So I mean,
You made the calendar and
I
sent
made
it
the
to me.
calendar. You'd think I would know. So our calendar is insane and all color coded and everything. Poor
Oh
Nick
my
is gonna have to
God.
figure out how to use it. So
I have sent screenshots of it to people like, can you tell me what you're doing and when? I'm like, yes, here. Yeah, no, I'm busy.
yeah, you don't want to look at.
I
March
see my
next
name,
year.
but I can't read the rest of that.
It's time for you to close.
Aha.
Publish a larger formats like picture books.
I have been asked repeatedly for an art book. It is in the works.
Aha.
And there will probably be 2 because I think that the Ninktober sketchbook, which will have work from the last 3 years, will be one art book, and there will probably be a full color art book that will have work from the last decade in it. So I kind of want to do a progress thing of showing where I started to where I am now, which will be interesting.
So we have
Yes.
Spurgle contracts on the 28th. Space Cowboys probably on the 3rd because we're leaving on the 4th.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then the following weekend we have Space Cowboy, the Space Cowboys 4, and then we're in Vegas and we're just going to be off having fun, so you're not going to hear from us. So we're going to be working is the thing.
I'm going to be. Oh my God,
I have
so many meetings.
so many meetings and so much work at 20 books. I mean, I don't know how many people are familiar with 20 books 50K, so you might want to explain that a little.
Right. So we're doing 20 Books Vegas, which is an offshoot of the 20 Books to 50K Facebook group. And how they ended up doing the 20 Books Vegas is actually kind of hysterical. It goes way back into 10 years ago, way inside baseball. But 20 Books Vegas is fantastic. It is, they do a lot of beginning stuff, but they do a lot more advanced things that you're not going to get. So there's Kevin D. Anderson does a master's in publishing through University of Colorado at Western University. It used to be
It's in Colorado.
It used to be Western State. They incorporate all those to the university system, so it's in Colorado. And you're not going to get a lot of the information that you'll get at 20 Books at that. This is actually more advanced in the master's class.
Yeah, we were going through the sessions because we get there Sunday, but we start off with meetings all day Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday we start at 8 in the morning and we go till like 8 o'clock at night with sessions. I'm focusing specifically on marketing, and we had to go like sit and look at the thing, going, "What are you doing? I'm doing this. We're doing that." Because we have a lot to learn.
Yeah,
and then we have meetups with different author groups in the evening. Plus, Larry and Steve will be there.
They're doing 2 Writer Dojo episodes.
Yeah,
so I actually need to talk to them because we talked about doing a thing in Vegas, but we haven't actually like committed yet. So I need to message Steve about
and find out
scheduling that,
because I know they want to do a bunch of interviews, not in those 2, but
yeah.
So,
but he and I just need to sit down and talk.
Yes,
because Steve and Larry are very interested in some of the information in my head that apparently is unique to my head.
Yes. So we've got a whole week of really crazy running about learning stuff, and then she comes home, and I go to San Francisco. So, hey, Wally,
and yes, Thunder from Down Under and Magic Mike Live are both in Vegas, and I have not bought tickets yet. Because I've been trying to schedule all of my work stuff around my play, and I should actually probably just go get the tickets, do the play, and call it good.
Yeah. So, and there's also the Formula One race is being set up there.
Yeah.
So it's right on the strip. So our hotel is inside the racetrack, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, we definitely have a 3-way mind meld. We have some author friends who are going to be there as well. Like Rob Howell will be there.
Yep.
And so I've been chatting with him about, so are you going to that session? Great. I'll go to this and we can trade notes. So yeah,
there's a lot of stuff. I'm going to all the ones that are not going to be recorded. Because some of the recorded stuff I can listen to a few times. There's actually a couple from not last year, but the year before that I listen to every couple of months because it's such a good mind space to be in.
Yeah, we should post those.
Yeah, I should. My favorite one is Sarah Nofke, which is why I'm going to be tracking down Larry and Steve and stealing their pens. Now I might give it back.
Okay, you have to tell them what that means.
Okay, so all the presenters at 20 Books 50K get a special pen. It looks a lot like the special one that I got from Indie Capstone. Which if I ever let you borrow that pen, I want it back and I will hover on you until I give it back. Because it is a symbol of something that they've done. So Sarah Nofke, when she was at her first 20 Books Vegas, volunteered to work the check-in desk because she wanted to do. She had written goals, and goals to be that she wanted to do as a writer, and she volunteered to work the registration desk, and she stole whose pen was it?
Some big name.
It was a big name, I don't think it was Michael Anderle, but it may have been.
Yeah,
she stole his pen,
special pen.
The pen that says 20 Books Vegas Presenter, and you only get it if you're a 20 Books Vegas Presenter. She stole his pen and she used it for everything. She took her notes with it. She wrote stories with it. If she had to write a check for something, she wrote her checks with it. That was the pen that she used for everything because she was going to be on the stage as a presenter. And she was telling the story as the keynote speaker for 20 Books Vegas. So I'm gonna go steal Larry's pen because by God,
I wonder if Bridget will help us.
I bet she will.
Oh,
I tried to
sure
steal. I tried to steal Chuck Gannon's last year, and nobody would let me have it.
Oh,
I had 3 people in the know working the desk, and they wouldn't let me touch his pen. I was so mad. Like, guys, I just want a picture with it. That's all I want. No, can't have it.
Yeah,
So
I tried to get on the volunteer team.
I know.
Because if I was on a volunteer team, I would totally steal a pen for you.
So I'm gonna go steal Larry's
each other's
pen.
backs. We're gonna go. So this is how this works.
Yes.
So anyway, yeah. So 20 Books 50K. Woo! So a whole lot of crazy learning. So
yeah, and talking to people and making connections and gosh, I'm going to a new writer meetup. I can't tell you why.
Going to a new writer meetup with whole bunches of cards and lists of open anthology calls. So
yeah, something like that.
yeah,
Boy, howdy, do we have lists.
Mm-hmm.
we have there's so many lists. I put a list in our Google Drive of things I'm just trying to hang on to that I know I have to do that need to get done for Racketeer
Mhm.
Press. And we're into our second page now of single spaced.
Mm-hmm. But I started to list some merch ideas. I don't know if I shared that yet.
Yeah. No, you haven't.
I saw that. I have not. Oh, I got both of those shared with me, and I immediately looked at those and went, not even looking.
No, because hardly any of it has anything to do with you.
Well, that's fine, but
So.
I will eventually look and see if there's anything that I can do to help.
Right. It'll be one of those things like
It's
we're
just
taking
today I
these
was
files. We're taking these files out of the folders to put it on this thing.
Ben.
Hi, Ben.
So yeah, it's just been very well. We have a lot crunching into a very small space. In the next, I feel like I'm at Neutron Star, the Larry Niven story where the guy's trying to figure out what the music and everything's falling down into the point of the ship, because that's what it feels like, into the tight little point of things that have to get done. Because I have to have all my dick and stock done and get all that put together and loaded up in my car. Because I'm in Vegas for a week and I'm gone for another 6 weeks to San Francisco and of course my cat is trying to die in the middle of all of it. So.
Right.
But we got good news today.
We did get good news. Now it's
Yes.
it's good news.
So
Henry will continue to be around longer.
yes.
We're very happy.
This is very good.
I have decided though, because my cat Henry, who's a published author, has a blown pupil in his left eye. I had this image of making him a little tiny eye patch.
I wondered if you were going to make him into a pirate.
I figured you were going to. And then that definitely needs to be the cover of a Henry journal.
Yes.
Yes. But then I keep it on him long enough. So
I kind of do like the actual Henry on the front cover and then his Mid-Journey portrait on the back cover because
yeah,
pirate.
we have Henry in space. So but no, he's my neurotic cat has high blood pressure.
Who'd have thought? I mean,
Go figure.
Yeah. And he apparently ran into something.
Well, combined with having a partial cataract already, he may have run into something. Or we found out today, all of his blood work is totally normal, but he's definitely hyperthyroid, so which is normal for a cat who's 18 years old. So, so now he gets the super special, expensive rub in the ear medication because he's allergic to every goddamn thing on the planet. And then he has to go back in 3 weeks, which won't be me.
It'll be me.
Have fun
It's
with
all right.
that.
We understand.
So
I figured it would be me.
Muggy pirates in space.
it won't be
Yes.
me because Henry doesn't exist as
No.
far as I'm concerned. I come in the house and there's no Henry.
He has
Yeah.
a streak of fuzz.
Yes.
No, I can probably
Yeah.
get him into the carrier. It'll be fine.
What the
I'll
use
take
these
him.
little treats and
Yeah.
betray his kitty trust. And no, Don, I cannot have him anesthetized because he's also allergic to that. So
Yeah.
which makes it even more entertaining when you're trying to trim his claws. So
Like 3 people.
yeah, attitude. So that's the update on my ridiculous
Yeah.
cat.
So I will take him to the vet, and then I will go to Colorado for Thanksgiving and my reward, and then I will be a much happier camper until January.
Yep.
Yes.
Anyway,
So that's life, and
we got nothing going on.
oh yeah, not a bit
Nothing.
at all.
Yeah.
And Courtney's wearing the stompy boots for the weather.
They're cute stumpy
They are
boots,
cute.
though.
And they're the only things I have that I didn't think would get wet.
Or I mean, I
could handle
just
getting
threw
wet.
on quick sandals because,
Yeah.
well, my life is a mess.
Yeah, well,
Your kitchen's a mess because your kid is annoying. So
Yeah, I mean, I did try to get it cleaned up today somewhat, but
You
we had
guys
the guy come and go into the attic, and I felt so bad because my attic isn't awful because there is a partial floor up there, so you can get up there and you can walk around, and there are lights in theory. We cannot figure out how to turn them on today, so he's blundering around up there with the flashlight on his phone is what he was using because he's fairly young. And children of a certain age, the flashlight on their phone, they don't have a spare flashlight in their pocket the way I do. But nice guy, really
Yeah.
nice guy. And so he took a good look at what's the situation up there, and I'm supposed to get a quote. Um, she replaced the AC, but that took up a good chunk of my morning because waiting for him being there, and me telling him that I'm in no rush to replace the AC whenever he can fit me into his schedule between now and spring is fine.
Oh, by the way, Henry is allergic to everything, including grass, which was determined long before we got to Texas. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's not like we have anything odd going on.
Yeah, not a bit.
Nothing at all. And I mean, I am dealing with the fact that if you haven't accessed your medical records in more than 10 years, you may want to do so and get a copy and put them somewhere safe.
Yes.
Especially if you've ever had any kind of surgery that left an implant in your body of any kind, because at some point, someday you might have to have an MRI, and if you can't track down what exactly it was, make and model of what they put in you, you can't get an MRI. So, noted for future of you should probably get your medical records and retain a record of them if you've moved significantly or are no longer keeping the same doctor. I mean, if you've been the same doctor for 20 years, he's probably got your stuff. But otherwise, no.
You should probably
Get a copy of your records.
You should have this stuff on hand anyway, because every now and then you'll find mistakes.
Well, and you
That
should
can be a problem.
review them periodically. I mean,
Yeah.
that's another thing that we have been doing is I have been going over records and asking questions and going, why does it say this? And what was this? And sometimes I'm getting answers and sometimes I'm getting, I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. I had something pop up on one of my things, and I'm like, well, what did this come from? Because I was like, fine, and then I also have diagnosed anxiety. I'm like, what the hell? I was like, no. I was telling him that my hair was falling out, which is a symptom of my thyroid going bad.
Mm-hmm.
And he put me down as anxiety and then referred me to the dermatologist. And I'm like, you weren't listening, mother.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. So, in other news, we have a whole bunch of alpha mercs wandering around in Regency gowns.
At least in my
There's
head,
your
and it's
mental
beautiful.
image for the day.
You're all beautiful, honey. Just shave your chest. Anyway, so there was this lively discussion yesterday on the live stream with the guys about space Regency stuff. And we did have some time to talk about it today.
Yes.
With Rita and that guy, Ian,
Whatever.
who's
Yeah.
wandering around going, ow, I'm going blind from all these guys in dresses, which was very amusing.
It was very amusing.
Yeah. So anyway, we're not going to talk about that right now, but
Yeah.
we just want you guys to know that we're talking about it and trying to see where we can go with this.
Talks are happening. Kortnee had a very large brain dump today.
She flipped onto the table, which was a little scary, I have to admit.
Like, we have this idea. Oh, I know exactly how I want to do it. This is what I want to do with it, and this is how I want to do it. And we could do this whole thing. And
I said, we need to talk about this more.
yes. So,
so just so you guys know, run wild with what you've got going in your heads. Just go, and we will fill you in on what we decide in this giant funnel of everything coming to a point. So anyway, so that was it was a fun discussion though. What are you doing? You good for them?
Yeah. Today's prompt was poisonous shell.
Oh, fun.
So a little cone shell is one of the most toxic substances known to man in their
Yes.
little bodies, and they will puncture you. It's kind of like a sting, but not quite the same structure because it's not an insect. Close enough. Anyway, the mermaid is getting a little close there for comfort.
Okay. So in other news, we have we're getting a lot of questions about the military alternate history anthologies with
Mhm.
Dr. James Young, not the gynecologist, is there's a story there, and we'll make him tell you. So what we thought we would do is next week we're going to have Dr. James Young on with us with broadcast, and he's going to walk through his 3 anthologies, because the first one, Giant Freaking Robots, opens here shortly.
Mhm.
Plus the other 2 are going to require a little more research on your part for doing those, and we want him to talk about those and clarify what it is he's looking for.
Yes.
So and we'll try to not torture the poor man while he's on with us. He's absolutely terrified of coming anywhere near us at conventions.
Yeah, he makes the mistake of standing still. All of a sudden, he's doing more work.
Well,
Yeah, imagine how that happens.
He was Cedar stunt double at
Liberty
LibertyCon, which was fabulous.
Yes.
So,
and I was his stunt double at Pecan.
yes, which was great fun. So, so he's going to be on next week, and we will advertise that a little bit more. Plus, he's got a new novella he wants to tell us about too, which is very cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, he was like, I could just write, and I'll have it done, and I can tell you about it. Okay, fine. You know.
Yeah. It was almost a surprise today. Like, hey, should we? Because we. Yeah, like, well, no, we should get people.
We should tell people it's happening.
more.
So we're going to
Yeah.
let people know more about that, but spread the word, because he'll be live streaming with us, so we can walk through that. And since it'll be live, we'll be able to take some questions and answer them to help you guys figure that out. Because he is so brilliant.
Oh yeah.
He's so hilarious all at the same time. I desperately want to be his mother. So because she raised that.
Right, and she's like
Damn.
scary too.
Yeah. So
And, yeah.
So anyway, we want you guys to know about that, so you can actually prep and think more and have a better idea. So
And he's out in.
he's in Kansas City.
He's in Kansas City.
Yep.
So
Kansas City.
we may have to make a journey out to Kansas City at some point soon.
Well, we are going
Oh,
to in
yes.
March.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, we know a bunch of people around Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
So right?
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
Yeah. So anyhow, so that'll help with that. Plus, we that would be
Yeah.
Wally.
We like Wally. We like Wally.
We like Wally. So,
We like Michelle.
and Rob Hell's not too
We
far
love
away
Michelle.
either. So I love Michelle. She's
Yeah.
great. So yeah. So
Yeah, there's some guy named Mike that lives out there too.
Mike
I
is
don't know.
kind of out there somewhere.
Yeah,
I
ish.
mean, it's like some
Oh,
guy.
is he there? Okay.
Yeah, he's
cool.
up in the neighborhood. And,
There's a bunch
and
of
it's
people
like
out there.
we should be having an alternate North Texas Troublemakers goes on the road. Oh no, wait a minute. No, that gets us in trouble.
Road trips and us are a little.
This is why we have the anthology of bad road trip stories. That's just happening.
Hi, Alyssa. Oh my God, we haven't seen you in forever. She keeps running off to Disney World. So
The Space
That's what
Marines.
she does.
what?
Jesse, you're a bad, terrible person, and I love you.
Yes, he is.
Always.
You're not kidding. Road trips get expensive for us.
Yeah. Missing cars, missing tires, like that. Yeah.
Unexpected adventures.
Yeah, and it is an adventure because
At least my child is still alive.
It's a near thing some days.
Yeah,
maybe not.
yeah.
So that's the scoop on that. So you guys know that, and
Yeah.
we'll spread the word in various places so you guys can pop in and have a chance to ask James some questions. So and really, I mean, he's just so brilliant, utterly brilliant. Ask him why he's not the gynecologist though.
Yes, you have
Somebody
to
has
ask
to be
that
ready
question.
for that one. So
And there's a cookbook involved.
it just gets worse. Trust me.
And that was the first time I met James Young, which was so wonderful.
Oh my God, the poor thing.
Well, he was standing in for Peter Grant that year.
Yes,
He was
he was
the token African American.
token African American. He thought it was hilarious sitting in for the African American.
Yep.
So, oh my God, he made such hay out of that.
Oh, it was so much fun.
And I'll tell the Brandon Sanderson story. So,
Yeah.
which he'll hate me for. So
No, he'll love you anyway.
yeah, I know. That's okay.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. That'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
So I think that's the news.
Mm-hmm.
Guys keep making more work for us.
No, that's not a complaint. By
I
the
mean,
way.
we're not complaining. It's just like we gotta be careful with these live streams. I think one of those big hooks they used in vaudeville.
Yes.
So when the guys is like yank off,
a shepherd's crook, and
Mhm.
the last time I had one was in New Hampshire.
Mhm.
It kind of got left at the farm because I didn't think I would need it again.
You know, they make planters that are roughly that shape, and I'm fairly certain we could take the
We
this
could do that.
pokey parts off the bottom.
Oh, I have a couple of those.
I mean, we
It's a shepherd's
could.
hook.
I mean, I used to have an oak one that it was actually, I
Mhm.
used it for
Mhm.
sheep herding.
Mhm. Well, I figure a metal one, we have better chance of braining the guys.
Mhm.
They're a little heavier, yes.
And sometimes that's what's needed.
Right. Rein them in before they go too far above.
Mhm.
The pokey parts could be useful, yes, Dawn.
I have pokey things here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm usually armed, so.
Well, I mean, I have larger pokey things over there behind the guys.
Oh, that's
so.
true. Oh, that's
What
true.
I have instead these days, now that my hair is an awkward length, is what Peter Grant was wanting to know if this is a doily. And no, it's not. But
very
I'm
cute.
honestly not sure it has a name. Just not doily. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had them in gingham at one point.
I usually use like handkerchiefs, but this one is custom made triangle that's intended to tie over your hair.
I know I had a bunch of them in like red gingham and blue gingham and all that were exactly like that triangle with the I love
Yeah.
it. And I called them headscarves. I have no idea
Yeah,
what they're actually called.
a
But
babushka. I mean,
Yeah.
I
My
have
mom-
never ever worn my hair like that.
my mom used to do this when I was little. So when I wear this, I have these little childhood memories of being small and my mom wearing her
Oh,
hair like
mhm.
this.
I
So
used to wear them when I was working at Elitch's because it was hot. And then there were times when Courtney would go to the warehouse and the warehouse was scary and occasionally lit.
ooh,
Pick a reason. Pick
Okay,
a
now the problem
definition
is-
of lit.
I was getting the definition. Which definition of lit are we
You
talking
never
about
knew
here?
until you walked in.
Mhm. Because my definition of lit is the like I went off to an SCA event and I met this Duchess and she had this giant jug of glass of mug of alcohol and she had this her crown because she's a Duchess. She walked up and she would click and her whole crown lit up and she says, "I'm lit." It's like,
oh, she sounds like
she was a hoot. We had the best time. I think we stole a golf cart. I don't remember.
you were
Is
lit.
the statute of limitations up on that yet?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so we did not steal a golf cart. And yes, no, there were times when I would go and here, okay, we're getting this kind of lit today.
Okay.
But no, I'd have to
Match.
go in and then come out without spiders and crap in my hair because I had to go back to work.
Spiders. Holy crap.
Yeah, they've invaded. That's kind of funny.
I was like, so I'm not averse to bugs. I mean, I think some bugs are eating other bugs and it's great, but I walked back into the back of the warehouse, back of the shop a couple days ago, and there's this spider, like, it's like a baby tarantula. And he stopped and we both did the at each other.
Is he still there?
No,
I
he's
put him
not.
outside.
Because I walked back and went, holy crap! he did the same thing. He was like, at me. And I'm like, get a cup! So she ever so graciously went and got a cup. And I'm like, outside, out you go. Well, yesterday.
It came back.
No. Yesterday, his big brother showed up. And was on the toilet ring when Ian went back to the bathroom. And he was like, so there's this spider back there wanting to know. I said, he probably wants to know where his little brother is. So it's like, So, I mean, I don't mind the gigantic crickets and things, but when the spider like gets up on his back legs and says, yo, and is smoking a cigarette, there's a problem. So,
and tarantula migration is a thing, and they do come through here.
They come through
So,
here.
like,
but
that could legit have been a baby tarantula.
I don't know, but I mean, he was fuzzy and he was cute, but it was just like, not sharing my space. So
Yeah.
It was like the crickets next door in the jewelry store. So it was entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Pretty funny.
apparently, Ian said that he flushed the gigantic spider.
Oh man, his mom's gonna come looking for him now.
Now mom's gonna show up. Say, where are my kids?
So I'll see her for that one. She can explain what
like-
the kids went.
It's like, Cedar, what? science experiment. So come get it.
Hey, I have gotten a number of phone calls or shrieks across the house of, Mama, there's a bug.
You should
In
have
fact-
those from Henry because he doesn't know what to do
In
with
fact,
them.
the first time that Sanford and I did Fool's Con,
Mhm.
the first evening we were there, we're at the very end
Hi,
of the
John.
campground in the last cabin,
Mhm.
and Sanford steps out on the porch, and a minute later the door opens again, and he's like, Cedar, come out here and bring your camera. So I knew
Oh,
there was going to be a
okay.
bug, and there
Yeah.
was this lovely brown tarantula hiding up next to the warm concrete of the back step, and I was very excited.
The one year that we did Fool's Con when it was raining
Yes,
was the middle. That was that
year.
year. There was a tarantula migration, and I was watching the grass move, and it wasn't the grass. It was like they were everywhere, and it was.
You know, when I was younger, I did have a pet tarantula.
Mhm.
Her name was Matilda. You know, and she was very delightful.
And they were fun. It was fun. It was just like, huh,
The ground is moving.
the ground is moving. Like,
Yeah.
it's weird that it's. I didn't. It doesn't feel like it's windy. And I'm like, oh, that's not the wind.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. And it rained, and then they all went up the trees, and it's like this.
And suddenly the trees were moving.
So I'm like, okay, like there's black moss on the trees. Is it moving? Oh, that's bugs.
It's like,
I'm
man.
good.
Yeah, no, I just, mm-mm.
Yeah, that was so much fun because we had these huge puddles, and we had
I don't think I was
this
at that
pack of
first one.
kids.
You weren't.
I was
No.
not, that was the one I missed. So,
Yeah,
so it's still
this was the
back
very
on.
first one. There was this pack of kids, and I don't remember. I mean,
Mud puddles.
we had like 3 from one family and 2 from another,
Mhm.
and they were up to their chests in mud puddles because some of them were little,
Mhm.
Oh,
and
man.
they were just having so much
That's
fun,
the
and we were
best
having a
thing.
blast watching them.
Oh, it was great to watch
But
them.
those were
Yeah.
fantastic puddles.
Oh man.
So Ben wants to know, Courtney, if the Earth moved.
It might have. I was off it. I was levitating.
No, it was fascinating. But you know what? We all need wellies, and we need mud
I
puddle
have wellies.
splashing days. I don't have their wellies.
No, I have proper like rain boots.
I mean, like
Yeah.
rain boot wellies.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't, but these almost work. They're
Yeah.
plastic
You got a zipper, you're gonna get leakage and wet feet.
a little bit.
Yeah. No, I just
Yeah.
think every now and then, the sheer joy of just stomping through puddles.
Yes.
You know. I mean, it's just.
I used to do it barefoot, but here in Texas, there's too many angry plants.
There are many angry plants.
Many very angry
Yes.
plants.
And there's one right outside the door of the shop that leaves little angry plant bits
Mhm.
on my carpets. So,
Yes.
but you know, there is sheer joy in that.
Mhm.
You know, it's
Not
just
the
like,
angry plants, but the puddles.
The mud puddles
Puddles.
and the
I love
what if your
puddles.
puddles in your bare feet?
I mean,
Yes.
and the smush of mud up between your toes.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
and
can
it's
do
warm enough here when it rains that it's you can actually do that, and you can
Yes.
have your feet permanently dyed red from the clay soil. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just boy, we wandered off on a tangent. So
We've got rain. I mean, so because of the master naturalist thing, and I'm now a certified master naturalist
Yay.
officially. 40 hours of training, 40 hours of volunteer time, and phew. But because of one of the water quality monitoring that I do, there's only 4 rain monitoring stations in all of the county that we live in.
Mhm.
And I'm one of them now because I bought the official rain gauge and signed up for and went through the training and everything. So now my yard is one of the official rain monitoring things for the area, which is interesting because 2 of the ones in the county are in Wichita Falls.
Oh, really?
So, and looking at historical data, there's one up in Burke Burnett and the one here in Tiny Town that's me, and then the one in Wichita Falls. And there's a significant difference. You
Oh,
guys
yeah.
get a lot more rain than we do.
Yeah, it's like
And we're not that far apart geographically.
But no, we're not. But it's very interesting to watch the weather go over us. So-
Yeah, yeah.
And boy, can we feel it coming for
Oh,
2 days.
God.
So
But we
Yeah.
had a little over an inch of rain in the first go round, and today we had, the last time I looked at the gauge, I won't read it officially until tomorrow morning, but we had well over a half an inch already. So
Mm.
we have needed this rain. So
Yeah, it's kind of nice to actually wake up feeling like I'm back in Oregon again. It's like it's gray. I'm not being assaulted by the sunshine every day. And the sound of the rain is lovely. And then I step outside and it's like a sticky, wet blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Sana.
It's like, oh, I'm like, it's cold. I'm gonna go put my jacket on. I walk outside. Why did I put this on?
Why did I bother? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
long sleeves today were kind of like,
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Got the.
no.
This was just kind of been on and off all day. So
Yeah. It's just
but that's.
I don't know. We're having a Miranda. We have a guest today. It's been very like all over
Meandering.
meandering.
Yes. You're being asked.
Is
You
that a
send your
word?
results with your secret decoder ring.
now
Ooh.
it is.
Oh,
We have
we need secret decoder
upgraded.
rings.
We do.
Well, there's that, but in my
We could
case,
just cut out
we've
secret
upgraded
decoder
to
rings.
websites and just data
We
entry.
could.
It's very boring.
Oh, wouldn't
Secret
that be fun?
decoder ringers would be a lot more
We can
fun.
make secret decoder rings like you assemble yourself and you can wear them at conventions.
That would be so fun.
Wouldn't that be great?
I love it.
I don't think the two of you are old enough, but it used to be that you could get these really cool secret decoder ring pins and stuff in your cereal.
Mm-hmm.
They were metal. They weren't plastic.
Ooh.
They were metal.
Yeah, I'm not old enough for that,
Yeah.
unfortunately. That's
So
something that would have been a lot
And
more
they were
fun.
so cool. You get this like spaceships, then you get they were really just, and every now and then they'll turn up at like a big swap meet or something. You find them, but I remember those. Those were really fun. So that's just. But we should have a secret decoder ring?
Absolutely.
I
What?
can't imagine they can't be 3D printed.
Jesse.
Ben-
Ben beat us to it. Ben beat us to it. But I mean, wasn't that
Jesse, you
that
have
was like
marching orders.
a big part of my childhood is stuff like that. I love stuff
Yeah.
like that. So, I mean, and Lord knows, Racketeer Press is silly enough. Why not add a
Why
secret
not add-
decoder ring?
right?
So, oh, I love it. I love it. Send in proof of purchase of a Rack Press anthology and get a decoder ring for $5 plus shipping and handling. Yes,
I love it.
I love
That's
that.
fun.
That is so cool. We'll have to go raid the quarter machines and get some. Right.
Oh, that'd
my
be so
God.
much fun.
So that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I make a sense of silly. And then we could go splash some mud puddles together
Yeah.
during the thunderstorms at LibertyCon
That'd
with
be a
our
lot
secret
of fun.
decoder rings.
Yeah, there are always thunderstorms at Liberty.
There
Con.
always are.
Yes,
The
there
one
always
thing
are.
you can count on in life, there will be thunderstorms at Liberty Con.
So, Jesse, what? Did you step away, Jesse? Did you didn't hear that part? We just committed you to work, so you'll just have to get in touch with us later.
Yeah.
Never, ever leave a meeting. Never, ever walk away from a meeting. Because if you walk away from a meeting,
Mm-hmm.
you're in
You
charge of
volunteer
something
for
and the
things.
FBI is investigating you. We
We
had a discussion about it.
discussed this yesterday. Whether or not the North Texas troublemakers are a cult.
Or a cult.
And the answer was
Kind of, yeah.
So-
Okay.
So when Freeman brought this up to me, I'm standing in the U-Haul trailer holding something heavy, and I didn't quite hear what all he said, and then then I figured out what he was talking about, and he's like, "But we can't be a cult because cults have to have regalia and all that," and I'm like, "What do you think Hawaiian shirts are?"
And hello, I could make cultist regalia.
we told
And
Hawaiian
Travis could,
shirts, you
and
make
Travis
them.
art guy could like design
he could
it.
design it. And he
You know?
could design the decor. And
And
the
this is the cult headquarters. We could have like Anubis at the door kind of thing. Wouldn't that be fun? And swaggy curtains and
Anubis and Bast.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're right. We do need a swag store, and and that big long list of things I talked about.
Yeah.
The swag store has like this much on it. So, I mean, the ceremonial cult robes, we could totally do that.
We could absolutely do that.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is totally my department. I would get to have some fun. So,
Oh.
and
And we
well, you were reading the cult
I
article.
was reading
which was
how to
killing me.
start a cult.
There's a Wikipedia article on how to start a cult, and she was reading it yesterday and losing her mind.
There's a wiki. I'm like, because I googled how many people does it take to start a cult. according to Jubal Harshaw, 2. I'm thinking 3 because you need to have because 2 is just it's just a relationship. 3 is
got
when
a
you start.
leader.
You get a leader
And minions,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And there's like this whole thing about how to set it.
Right, and what
so
is
funny.
you absolutely must not. The person who wants to be in charge is the person you should not choose to be in charge. And Dorothy had just said, "I refuse to be in charge of this cult." We're all
And it's like, well, then it's you now.
it's like, I nominate Dorothy.
This is where you never go to the bathroom. So
Do not miss a meeting.
don't miss a meeting, and don't leave a meeting to go to the bathroom, right? So,
Yep.
No, but if we're just like, and we can add secret decoder rings to this.
We
Right?
we absolutely could.
We could do ring knockers of a slightly different color. Oh,
So
knockers.
wrong.
You're
So wrong.
Oh my god.
So yes, we nominated Dorothy, who ran screaming.
He's like, no. And Travis is the one who's like, I really like to wear the cool occultist stuff. Travis, if you
Travis
don't know
Lee
him,
Clark.
Travis Lee Clark is truly astonishing art history professor, and strangely in love with Aztec death rituals.
We're gonna build him the pyramid of skulls at some point.
Yeah, right. No, I'm the costume designer. Cedar draws, but I'm the costume designer. I'm going to get to design the robes. So, and I have a whole book on Edith Head right over there. So,
Okay.
so
I know my line. I might
Ring-
not look like I'm paying
okay,
attention.
so
but
Jesse
I
took
know.
ring knockers and is now running with it.
Oh no.
I want at least one of them, Jesse. I will send you my ring size. So,
We just
so Travis Lee Clark's specialty is in non-Western civilization and non-Western art.
yes.
So he is in fact an expert and a world-renowned expert on things that are not
Yeah.
Western.
Well, he can go on at great length about the Aztec
Mhm.
rituals and even say all the words right and spell them correctly.
Yes.
Which is
And so,
an accomplishment.
yeah. So,
Yes.
no, we will not be doing Amazonian archery, Jesse. No. So, and he's
There are
really
bits of me I'm attached to and intend to stay attached to.
yes. No, but I mean, it's the whole.
Yeah.
So
it
we
was
were
just very
like,
funny.
we obviously are cultists.
Obviously,
we have our super secret meeting room,
Mhm.
right? And the disguised as a regular store,
Mhm.
and we need ring knockers. Now the visuals that go with that are all wrong, Jesse, and it's all your fault. We have pasties already. We just need to stick them on in.
Stick them on in, yeah.
So, you know what? I'm going to get a hold of Rita, and we're going to get to the convention, and we're going to stick him on the front of his shirt
Yes.
before he gets dressed, and then rush him out. And he'll have like little, and we'll just like poke him, and they'll start blinking, you know? Oh my god.
Oh, no.
If you'd like to know what regular days in the shop are like, this is
is
it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So, anyway, how did we end up there? It's all Jesse's fault.
It's all Jesse's
Our
fault.
usual meandering route through
Yes.
life.
Mhm.
Because sometimes we need to laugh.
We need some hilarity. So,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah.
And we are looking into having a merch store.
Yes.
And
Oh
we-
my god.
There
What
will
was
be
the
merch.
what was the mud today that Rita came up with? Oh, so Rita wanted to do these greeting cards. I bet you that a couple on a beach in the sunset and everything, and you see from behind, and it says, "I knew the moment we met that we were soulmates and meant to be together forever." You open it up, it says, "Call me when your mother dies."
And the mug was calling with you when your mother dies, and on the bottom it said that bitch. I'm sitting here going, there are so many people I would have sent that to.
It was awful and wonderful all at the same time.
That is.
So yeah, so we just when the guys are dropping all these comments and things, I'm writing them down on little 3x5 cards.
Yeah.
I mean, and we have for the longest time wanted to put together a merch store where we get done with the broadcast and it's like, okay, they dropped it. I mean, what was the butt stroking the drag chickens?
Yep.
Yes.
Needs to be on a shirt or a mug or something, and just Anyway,
I think I may have created art for that.
I think you did.
You did. I remember seeing it, and I'm just
So
yeah.
yes, swag store is something that's on the horizon. We just have a lot of work to do between now and then. So it's like, ugh.
So apparently, someone just sent me this.
What?
Oh, actually, Neil just sent me this.
Okay.
HP Lovecraft Historical Society has a secret decoder ring.
Really?
Yep. It's a badge, but yeah, we could totally make this into a ring. I mean,
That is gonna be fun.
that's awesome. And yes, Don, I'll let you know when I'm coming back. I don't have a return date yet, but I will be there for Thanksgiving for sure. So,
I just don't talk to us about our copious free time, okay, Rick? I mean, because
yeah.
like I said, you should see
Things
the
get
calendar.
stabby when that comes up.
We start walking steady. Not enough Snicker bars in the world for that. So
Sadly.
no, but actually looking at our schedule, the whole reason for this coming year is to get all of our systems smooth and get our processes down. Because this year has been somewhat akin to
We're playing catch up on a lot.
it's not even so much catch up, it's just that figuring it out this year.
Drinking from a fire hose.
Yeah.
Drinking from a fire hose, because oh my lord, you people. Wow.
And this part of the information we're trying to get is we're trying to extract things. I should be asking for help more than I am, but you have to extract things from my brain to realize I need it.
Not a big enough plunger for that. So
There isn't.
It's like every now and then Courtney does flip top head and dumps everything on the table. And I'm like, I don't know what this pile is. You have to tell me what this pile is so I can figure it out. So we can like disperse it. But
the Regency thing has actually opened. It was another pile of stuff, and it's going to make so much more work. But it's
so cool. I'm back. Anyway,
yeah.
I haven't told Cedar about that yet.
We haven't.
We have.
I need to know. I just need to know what you want for art because that's a whole other costume discussion.
Yes, it is.
There's a reason that I don't have as many books as Jonna does on costume, but I have a lot.
Yes. And this is in all of my books. Some of them are still back in Oregon. But yeah, we're getting better, which has been kind of nice. It's really been we're really open about this. We're open about the fact that it's like we got on this roller coaster that's doing really interesting twists and turns and things and trying to figure out where we're going. But it's been incredibly fun and incredibly exhausting all at the same
And y'all
time.
get to come along for the ride with us.
I know.
And learn along with us.
We're like, look, we're going, and we're going that way. It's like,
And it's good, and we have a wealth of knowledge from you guys and a bunch of things where it's like, how does this work? Excellent question. I will come back with an answer in 24 hours because now I have become an expert on this. Because a lot of what we're doing is I'm teaching people.
she is.
Which is great. And a lot of it's stuff like I've known this for years. Says how do people not know this? Another parts of it is I actually stay a step and a half. I was a step and a half ahead of you, so I can figure out how to show you how to do it.
Ben just sent me a link to Secret Dakota Rings.
They exist.
They do. This
wonderful.
is going to be awesome.
Oh, look.
Oh, those are fun.
These are so cool.
Okay.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Oh my goodness. Of course, see, this is the thing. You're like our whole research library. You guys just run off and go find all this great info for us.
This is awesome.
It is awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome.
So I think, I'm going to start doing things like, especially for, you guys are awesome.
Awesome. We feel so lucky.
Yeah.
I don't think we express that nearly enough, but we feel so lucky that this weird little cafe challenge has turned into such a wonderful bunch of people. I mean, we met the coolest people. You guys just rock. It's just, it's been so much fun.
Yeah. I'm considering doing like a recommended reading book discussion thing.
Oh, What do you
I
guys
have
think
no
of that?
time for that, but that'd be.
but
I
no,
think,
but just recommend, like, what kind of recommended reading?
like, you want to know more about Regency, start here. If
Oh,
you,
yeah.
if
Georgia
you,
Harder.
if you want to know
Georgia
more
Hart,
about,
yeah.
Okay.
What?
This isn't
Cedar
a
has
Regency.
opinions.
This isn't a Regency thing.
Mhm.
If you want to know more about writing dialogue and character and really wonderful interactions, read Georgia Hire. It doesn't matter what
Yes.
genre you're going to be writing.
Amazing.
Not so much her detective stories. And if you're a guy and are kind of like, do I really need to read the girly stuff? Read The Tollgate and The Ajax.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know, we should put that in the Discord.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, because we have all these books, like there's a wealth of knowledge and information and craft and things that we have all read, and you've read widely in different subjects that I've
Yeah,
read
I have.
widely in.
Yeah.
You completely separate subjects than all three of us. Yeah. Anyway, multiple
You know
personalities
what?
somewhere in here,
I'm going to suggest something.
but
We need to just put together a book channel.
yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe because we did our romance covers thing, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. Maybe we just need to gather up a couple of books and just do a book broadcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
Yeah. We should do a
I
book
almost
broadcast.
grabbed a couple of books to bring along because I wanted to show them to Courtney.
Mhm.
I think I showed you the other day what I was going to order,
Mhm.
and I did order them, and they came
Did
in.
you?
And they're awesome.
Which books are these?
So it's called the Enchanted World series, and they were a Time Life series that was put out back in the
I remember
1980s.
you guys were talking about this.
And
yes.
they have these beautiful covers. So they're hardbound. They're very slender volumes, and it's a cloth and gold embossed with an illustration on the cover, which is what caught my eye. But I ordered a couple because they were relatively inexpensive, and they were exactly what I wanted, which is that they are all these different little topical things on fairy tales and folklore, and
cool.
there's like one that's dragons and one that's dwarves and one that's night creatures, and I don't know how many of them there are, but I had ordered a couple because they were inexpensive, and I'm like, if these are as good as I think they are, but they've got all kinds of beautiful color illustrations on the inside. Lots of
Nice.
Arthur Rackham, which I
Arthur
love.
Rackham is amazing.
I love his stuff, and like going into explanation of like legends and valor of great valor. I forget what the title is now, but it was like St. George and the Dragon, and a bunch of other different stories, and it's both the story and talking about what's going on in the story, and there's illustrations. So I'm really
Those sound
happy
fun.
about those. I almost grabbed those and brought those along as kind of a show and tell of check these out, because they're a great entry level into because I collect books on fairy tales and folklore and stuff, and in the back of these books there are really nice bibliographies.
Yes.
I love those.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I saw that, that's what made me go, okay, I'm ordering more.
Yeah. The detective work of the bibliography. Is that the fun part? I love that.
Yeah, because
like, where'd this go? Okay.
Well, and I mean, this is how you use Wikipedia for research.
Mhm.
You don't look at the article. You scroll all the way to the bottom and you go to the bibliography, and then you start tracking it back. And then you go to those things that you found in the Wikibiblio, and you track those back through their bibliographies. And at some point, you figure out whether you've got a single point source, which happens a lot. In a bibliography, you'll see 4 or 5 different things, but if you track them back far enough, they all come from one source.
I have to tell you, I've done the similar things with redrawings of clothing in historical costuming books, because the Victorians were notorious for horrible redrawings. But I actually taught a class taking one particular garment back through 6 iterations to the original. To the original painting, which still is a tertiary source because it's not the actual garment. But it's so much fun to do that, because then you see, it's fascinating to me that the visual cues of the day and the fashion of the day affects the artist.
Mhm.
You know, and I'm wondering if that's a similar thing that happens when you're tracing back through books of stories of, you know,
Mhm.
are they altered to fit the culture of the time?
Well, that's why there's over 1,000 versions of Cinderella.
Yeah,
I was gonna
right.
say,
So,
there is absolutely alterations.
oh yeah,
Because fairy tales in their origins were stories in general
hmm
that they were, because fiction has always been just telling stories, but
Mhm.
fiction has also weighted heavily towards teaching lessons
well,
in some way or another.
it's verbal history, I
Right.
mean, and
So
and
fairy
we
tales
have,
and mythology, in particular, are verbal history.
oh yeah,
Mhm.
and it's
Um,
interesting to me how many, well, Power of Myth, right? It's
Yes,
just you
yes.
have a
Yeah.
look. I mean, there's so many books. So yeah, we should do that. We should like pull together like a book episode and
Mhm.
talk about why we like those particular books.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, and I mean, all of us are going to have different references and things.
Mhm.
yeah.
To follow back up, to go back to the Georgette Heyer thing, by the way, both Dave Freer and Tony Weisskopf highly recommend
Oh,
reading
yeah.
Georgette Heyer for learning how to become a better writer.
Yes.
So-
Well, it's like there's several authors that if you want to learn this particular,
Yeah.
Mhm.
just go read them.
yeah,
You know, so
Mhm.
like study how they craft things.
yeah.
Dorothy Dennett, if you want to really like dig into, oh my lord, her books are dense and difficult to get into, but once you're in them, I spent almost 2 weeks doing an entire 8-book series of hers, and I was just immersed. Just I couldn't step away. They were so amazing. So
Mhm. And yeah, like in Rick said, what started as a functional feature ended up being as pre-decoration, and you get a lot of that with if you can follow that through writing. They've actually done. I did this as a paper several times in college,
Mhm.
where someone was like, I can't, I am so sick and tired of this romance trope, and I'm like, and why do we have to read Pride and Prejudice because it's stock full of this? I'm like, actually, that's the original.
that's where it comes from.
That's where it comes from.
That's where it all started.
And then so you get Darcy, who in the latest iteration is the alpha asshole
yeah,
because he was proud and unbending and awkward and a freaking nerd. Okay, who and none of us have ever had this problem. We're have not been never been awkward in a situation.
with a
Never,
huge weight of
ever.
responsibility.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then you get to the we've got the guy who's proud and an asshole and doesn't unbend and doesn't understand where his mistakes are. And so like everyone's like, I really love these things. Like, no, you appreciate these things and you don't understand why we've lost a lot in the translation because they're not writing a takeoff of Pride and Prejudice. They're writing a response to this book, which is a response to this book, which is a response to this book, which is going back 200 years.
Yes.
Because all literature, all writing is a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a game of telephone. So we start with Darcy.
Mm-hmm.
And we come to Dorian, Gray, whatever his name is.
Dorian Gray.
Well, I was gonna call him Dorian Gray, but it's not actually.
Yeah, I know.
The 50 Shades of Grey dude.
Oh.
Christian Grey.
Ah, yes.
I think Dorian Gray would be preferable.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you start with Darcy and you end with Christian Grey, and the things that were admirable in Darcy make Christian Grey a psychopath.
Yeah.
Because we've lost so much in the translation,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see, and that was the one I can actually draw an actual line back to, and did a couple of times. So
yeah, I mean, it's this is something Rita was talking about because she's teaching Edwardian and early Victorian literature right now at the university, and she's finding that she's having a hard time because Victorian prose is so different, but it's so foundational to so much of our storytelling now.
Yes,
and getting the kids to be interested in the why of it and why it matters. So yeah, it's fascinating stuff. So yeah, I think we should do that. Should think about that. Well, we may have to record that one after our James one because I know we'll go long. So because that's just how we are.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I think having a list of recommended reading, and then we should do a couple of broadcasts where like this is why we like them and discuss them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
because there's a bunch of stuff where anybody if you're going to write Regency romance and you haven't read Catherine Coulter, what are you doing with your life? Like, but that's kind of a, if you don't know romance, why would anybody care?
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
But there's a lot of that. There's a lot of people who are writing, I'm going to write Regency romance. Well, you're writing the wrong era, and you're writing it wrong, and you don't know that you're writing it wrong because you're writing all these tropes, but you don't understand the foundation,
Yes.
and you haven't read the big, not just the big names, but the 20 years of history.
Or having an understanding of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
And
Victorian is not Regency.
No, and neither is Tudor.
Tudor is oh God no. But yeah, trying to explain to people why it's like with Regency. People who read Regency know their clothing. I use this as an example in my and so if you don't get it right, you don't need to have a passing understanding of getting. I should find some terminology sheets for the time frame, and because or explain to people that if you're going to do this, hierarchical societies use clothing as a method of communication.
Yep.
So,
and that's going to, and when we do space regencies, that's going to be important.
It matters. So,
yes,
because it's heraldry. It's heraldry has not stopped. We all still do it. So,
some sumptuary laws were a thing, and it was, and yes, and we use clothing to signal what we're doing and who we are. Like I made,
even when you think you're not, you are.
Well, it's one of the things, like, so this cardigan, I love this cardigan. I made a point of getting rid of all of my twin set cardigans because I hated them with a passion.
Well, they were you.
They're not me. They're very boring. They're very blocky, and I don't like them. This one has twin tails on the back.
Yeah.
So it
speaks to you. It says something about you.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other live stream right there.
Right.
So,
but it's something that it's a distinct choice that I've made.
Things here on the live stream talking about fashion.
Yes, we have. So,
but it'll be. I made a deliberate choice in my sweaters and the clothing I wear. The cardigan that matches the boots, but you wouldn't think it would match.
So Doug was saying we need to post sheets for writer submissions. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Doug. So,
yeah.
What do you mean by that? Could you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Jesse, I'm going to smack you the next time I see you, just so you know.
I haven't thrown anything at him yet.
He
But
just wrote, "It's a nice day for a light sweater." A nice day to cardigan. Seriously.
Yeah.
Style Bibles.
We have one.
Do we?
It is very simple. It is not a 3-page long essay, but yes, we have a style Bible. 12-point fonts. You put your title, you put your name, you put your email
in 12-point,
not 12-point Times New Roman font.
Not in a header or footer. Ben knows all about that one.
Scene changes need to have the 3 asterisks. If you're going to do, and paragraphs need to be indented with your paragraph styles, not with a tab, because tabs cause problems in the formatting program.
Oh yeah, so
like that is our style Bible.
Okay, so that's in terms of our format style Bible. I wonder if Doug is asking, for Regency stories. Yeah, obviously.
Okay, so Regency stories. When we do Regency stories, there will be, and that's going to be its own document. It's going to
have a frame. It'll have a frame. When and if we can manage to put it out there, it's not indefinite. So
yeah, it's going to be one of those things where I will have very clear directions about what's going to be required and what we're looking for. But that's not a style guide. That is a world building frame.
It's a frame.
Okay.
One of the things that we do at Raconteur Press, which is we like to give permission. You will find a lot of open calls are extremely detailed. They're extremely detailed. I would like werewolves in this thing, but not sparkly with this, and they have to be set in this particular time of the day. And so they give you such a tight little box
and this
definition
flavor,
and it must be this flavor, and you have to have this message about something, this and whatever. And then they don't get any submissions, and they wonder why. We deliberately leave things as wide open as possible, which I find a lot of authors are very uncomfortable with because we want to give you permission to go.
To play.
And it's a little difficult, but yeah, Regency will be a little bit different.
Because
also, that's why we're going to have James on next week, because the alternate history ones have a little bit more of a frame. Usually we're kind of like, whatever, go. And what we get out of that is astounding. We love it.
Yeah.
But with James's 2 military in particular ones,
Mhm.
There's a specific thing he's looking for, so we need him to define the frame for you.
Yes.
So next week we'll have him on there for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, Mona Lisa actually posted a bunch of suggestions of what she thinks of as that.
Well, yeah.
And she was very clear that we may not use that box,
Mhm.
but she gave you her stuff.
Right.
So, and it's in the North Texas Troublemaker.
Yeah, it's on
She
her
posted
Substack.
it's on her Substack too, which is not a bad frame. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And the pics help. And I have a recommended reading list that I'll be putting out. I'm putting it together for her. And one of the things I'm doing is I'm actually going to, because the suggestions of Regency and space are not the same as the Regency romance.
yeah, no,
Because that's the Regencies in space people are enjoying follow a lot of the Regency tropes, but they're space opera, not Regency.
yes.
And because there's a difference.
So that one, when we set the frame,
Yeah.
we will probably also do a broadcast on that, so you guys can listen and be really clear about that. So, but that's a ways off, guys. That's not something we're going to be doing right away. So,
and that's one of the reasons we're not going to do it right away is I have to build that frame, and I have to give you guys a very clear direction of where we're going.
yes, and we have to figure out where we're putting it on the schedule. So,
yeah,
probably
not till like next November. So we
and
got
yes,
a year.
Jesse probably does want me to smack him. So.
I keep threatening to throw things at him, but he brought me the Christmas gifts I wanted for like 3 people.
I know. So I mean, what do you do?
Thank you, Jesse.
So
you can make all the puns you want.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of the my lord. We have a lot going on.
Yeah, we
Yes,
do.
And see, they're sitting here quietly sketching. You can show them where you are now.
Oh, sure. I'm about there.
Yeah, she's
I'm
almost
about done
done.
with the drawing.
What's the prompt today?
The prompt today was poisonous shell.
It's so pretty.
That came out really cool. Now we need to see what Sam does with it.
Yes, that should be fun.
So, Sam Robb is writing stories with each one of those. So.
Yes, and Sam and I have indeed talked about creating a book out of the illustrations and his stories. And I think we're going to hammer out details after we actually make it all the way through October. But so far, we're both managing to write and draw and do it every day.
It's good.
So,
and we're over ladies.
yes.
So. We are a bit.
It's that time.
That's what I was saying. While to warm up and get
I'm
the
about done with this.
Yeah.
So
it's sidetracked too. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So next week, remember, we're going to have Dr. James Young on to talk about the alternate history, his 3 anthologies he's doing for us to set the frame for that. We'll announce it in various places. Maggie, not Maggie Nor. I'm way ahead of myself.
Space Monkeys.
Maggie's back in space Friday. Pin Up Nor contract Saturday. No, one of them. I can't keep it all straight.
Pin Up Nor contracts are back. I've started the pub share. Is if you did a Pin Up Nor 2, and you go check your pub share because you should have an invitation to the project.
Yes. No, What Happened contracts are Saturday.
What Happened contracts are this Saturday.
And then Space Boy contracts.
And then Space Cowboys 404 Cannot Found are next week.
Yeah. So
contracts, and yes, the Spriggle book is coming. The Spriggle book is coming. We're very excited.
Oh my god, the cover for that one. So
we have plans.
Yeah. So
I may have submitted a story for this one. Yeah.
So go read Georgia Higher Raptor.
Yeah,
you've got time. You've got time. Go read her.
Yeah, so. quite frankly, if you guys need to start with how to write romance, start with Georgia Higher and start with her romances.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's great read. We should post that. So
yeah,
we'll get it all posted somewhere. We just don't know where yet. So okay,
we'll start a doc. Yeah, that might be one of our first Substack postings.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a reasonable one. Because books that we think that will make you a better writer.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's not going to be the same thing for everyone.
No,
I have never made it all the way through a Jane Austen book.
Whereas I read Pride and Prejudice every year, and I have so much. I have problem. Okay, I will acknowledge that Georgia Higher is brilliant, and I cannot read her books.
And I absolutely adore her books. For every year read, for me, it was always the Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Hobbit, and about every 5 years, The Silmarillion. So, but not everybody does.
See, now that's another one we could do is books we read over and over again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yes.
All right,
We need to finish up.
Okay. We're finishing up. We will see you all next week. We will see you online.
And Dr. James Young.
Dr.
next
James
time,
Young next week.
Next
So,
week.
Yes.
So,
all right. See y'all later.
see you later, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye.